Lembramos a todos que no próximo sábado, dia 27, os Tupis estarão aqui na Arena Barueri para a quarta rodada.
The second Cup semi-final is between two very familiar foes, Canada against New Zealand, two teams with bulk and muscle up front and some extraordinary talent out back. Head-to-heads, Canada have never beaten the Kiwi girls in 8 meetings on this World Series, although they did have a draw back in 2012. No surprises or changes to either starting 7 for both teams, but it's hello soldier to the highest try scorer in history, Portia Woodman, who's recovered from a corked thigh to make her first appearance in this tournament since injuring it in game 1. She's going to come off the bench. Sue Day's with me. One advantage I'd argue the Canadians have got over the Kiwis is size in their pack, but will that mean they'll look to a power game?
You're right, Kelly Russell, Karen Paquin especially, and that's not even mentioning Jen Kish. They have got a lot of size there. I still think they'll want to try and move the New Zealanders back and forth across the pitch. You're not going to get through New Zealand just by taking them on up front.
Yeah, we have seen that pattern from Canada through this tournament, haven't we? Using a 5 metre on each side. Similar deal with New Zealand.
Yeah, they move it side to side and then end up making gaps for Ghislaine Landry, for Karen Paquin. You know, they've got some really good finishers on that team. You just need to make them a little bit of space first.
Ball in the air, last moment. Just to calm things down, there are the results for New Zealand. They have been outstanding. See, just 3 tries scored against them. Big scores. Scored a lot more tries than any other side here in Sao Paulo. But of course, it's sudden death at semi-final time. This is where it counts. Here it is, there 26 tries for the Kiwis, and they haven't yet started the semi-final. Gabby Lee from Hong Kong in charge. Ghislaine Landry in the middle, puts it high, and we're underway in the semi. McAllister underneath, safe as, and yep, taken out when she went up for the ball. Still on the ground there, McAllister. Looks all right.
Interesting. Arguably both players going for the ball, but I suppose the referee says Kayla McAllister's right underneath it and taken out as she was trying to claim it.
Here's Brazier. Good ball to Manuel, hitting up. This is Juliana Manuel gliding down the middle of the field. Goss, the ever-present Goss, gets there. Manuel at half. Brazier. McAllister. She'll give it a go on the outside. Trying to get round Landry, can't do so. Tui's there to help out. Big pressure, big defence from Canada, but it's just too high. McAllister still on the ground.
Yeah, she was struggling, wasn't she, after the initial contact on the first kickoff, and seems to be struggling again now. There were a couple of high tackles missed yesterday. The referee's definitely watching out for that one today.
Yep. Sometimes you can run injuries off, but she looks like she is in a bit of pain, perhaps an ankle injury. And New Zealand bringing on Broughton instead, so Fata Simpkins will slip out to the wing. That's a big loss.
It's a big loss, but it's not a bad replacement, is it, Gail Broughton?
Yep, different kind of player. Oh, nice kick through. And Brazier. Fata Simpkins has got the chase on, but she overruns it. Still alive there for New Zealand, and Fata Simpkins gets it after all.
Kelly Brazier will be happy with that one. We've seen her try it out a couple of times already. The bounce didn't quite go in their favour, but Katarina Fata-Simpkins was there. There it goes, the kick over, and it's a chase between Paquin and Fata-Simpkins. Paquin injures herself when she goes for the ball there. Fata-Simpkins then, no defence at all against her, finishes it off. Kelly Brazier, I think, will be particularly pleased with that one.
We said it last time, we haven't seen it in women's sevens done well at all, have we? But Brazier, well, she can do anything.
And what that does, of course, is mean that the defence is worried about you kicking, so the defence starts to hang off a little bit, or they hang one or two people back a little bit, and that, of course, creates much more space, you know, in the front line.
Playing chess out there, it's not just like sevens rugby, it's a bit of tactics as well.
Yeah, Karen Paquin's had to go off, unfortunately, after that. So one down each for each side now already.
5-0. Just over 4 minutes to go. That one just goes over the top of both Fata-Simpkins and Ben. So Canada get the set piece. There she is, Brazier. I mean, one of the reasons McAllister's had so many tries in this tournament is because of the work Brazier does in the middle.
Yeah, the combination of Brazier, Nathan Wong, Manuel at times, it creates so much space for the players outside.
Maleshki. Here's Landry now. Nice ball out to Kish. Runs over the top of Nathan Wong there. Yeah, giving away a few, New Zealand. To work across the field here. Varela taking on the outside. Broughton. Another high tackle. Gee, must have been a millimetre high.
Broughton's not that tall, is she?
Here's Kish again. Kish trying to take Ruby Tui on the outside. Tui just manages to trip her at the end. And offside New Zealand. Fata-Simpkins goes up to try and stop that attack, and they've got a player out here. Oh, Varela! She looked up. She would have been away, but they still have it. Must have gone backwards. Jean Kish again on this right wing. Doesn't quite have the speed of Paquin. She looks up, dummies, trying to go through the middle. This time Nathan Wong takes her down, but she gets up again. Yep, there's a so close here. Canada, they're putting it on Landry. Landry's having to go outside Goss, and she gets around her. So they've replied the best way they can. Oh yeah.
Yeah, Ghislaine Landry isn't going to miss from there. No disrespect to Sarah Goss, but when there's that much space to cover, you've got 3/4 of a pitch to cover. A player like Ghislaine Landry is going to stand you up. If Varela gets the ball out, and then Ghislaine Landry has so much space to play with and scores the try. Canada perhaps slightly fortunate. The Varela drop earlier on looked like it might have crept forward, but they took their chance.
Certainly did indeed. Landry, 60 tries, 454 points, creeping up on Woodman.
She's made such a difference for them coming back from injury, Landry, hasn't she? She's such a threat in the middle of the park, which they didn't really have in the Dubai tournament.
Canada putting their numbers on the right-hand side. Going backwards there, Broughton. Manuel. Brazier in and out. Can't get away. And they've stolen it, Canada. And here's an opportunity, Landry. Coming up on the line, Landry. Nathan Wong. Oh, just about forward there, Varela. Pulls it back in. New Zealand under all kinds of pressure. And Landry Just trying to go on the outside again, but the defence is holding. And here's Maleshki. Maleshki went on the left-hand side. And this is a turn-up for sure.
You talked about the power game before the game started, didn't you? You called it right. Canada giving New Zealand everything they've got at the breakdown, keeping it tight quite often. It's round the fringes here. New Zealand losing ball at the breakdown, which hasn't happened at all yet this tournament. That's what Canada have come to say. We're really going to take you on at the breakdown, stop you getting good ball.
Yeah, on the odd occasion when one of your great players, like McAllister goes off, you know, the attention can go off the game slightly.
Yeah, it can be a bit of a psychological hit. You know when you've got Kayla McAllister on the pitch, there's always an out. There's always someone you can pass the ball to who'll make something special happen. And when that goes off psychologically, it can impact the team.
Conversion good. 14 plays 5. Canada leading New Zealand at half-time, and they're going to take deep breaths, consolidate, and listen on into John Tate.
Let's take a breath. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Good. Okay. Hey, nice battle and work there, ladies. Big footwork and around the breakdown and get the support where we need it. Just when we want to go to that wide ball, right? When we have the overlap with the square, we still got to hold a little bit more depth because they're trying to solve it by shooting. So we can take advantage of it and get clean through. We just have a little bit more depth. Okay. Everything else stays the same. Women's coming on, right? We don't know how fast it is, but the defense is really strong.
Team! Go, girls!
New Zealand's reaction going to be in the second half? They've been totally dominant this entire tournament, posting massive scores. They've lost their strike out wide for now. They still have Woodman, Sarah Goss, Ruby Tui, hard workers up front.
Yeah, they want to keep the ball away from the contact area as much as possible. I would think they're really first time in this tournament being threatened there. They've got the players with the skill to be able to move the ball all over the pitch. That's what they need to do, but they have to get their hands on the ball first.
Oh, Jen Kish. How about that, eh? Up in the air, she's still going, Kish. Nathan Wong is chasing hard. Kish going for the corner, trying to swipe her off, and she does it all by herself. Jennifer Kish. Great start to the second half.
That is one phenomenal try. Jen Kish, first of all, claims the ball off kickoff against the best kickoff team in the tournament. A little bit of help from Kelly Russell, and then how many people does she hand off on the way to the line? Sarah Goss, then Tyler Nathan Wong. Just the strength and belief to do that. Brilliant try, and exactly what Canada needed at the start of this half to give them the belief that they can beat the world champions.
Add Huriana Manuel to the list of players that missed this powerhouse that is Kish.
What I'm finding really interesting at kickoff is that we've seen over the years how successful New Zealand are with Tyler Nathan Wong kicking and Sarah Goss chasing. They're not sending Sarah Goss the kick chase. I guess because they're trying different things out for in case Sarah Goss isn't around. Ruby Tui, that point went for them. But hey, in a game like this, I think I'd revert to my most tried and tested combination.
Especially when the score is 19-5 now. A tricky one from Canada, and it works out. Everything going their way. Landry. Williams is on now for New Zealand. They're making changes. Big hit up there from Ben. Farella on the outside of Broughton. Not quite this time. Ball went forward. Referee didn't see it. I've got black glasses on. I saw it. Great leg drive there from Maleshki. Pick up from Farella. Hands off one. Goes down this time. Goss has stolen it. And that time, the referee sees the knock on.
Yeah, great steal from Sarah Goss, but just the knock on at the end of it. So Canada keep the pressure, and the important thing for them, they keep the ball and they keep the play down this end of the pitch. The longer they stay here, the harder it is for New Zealand to score.
Yep, Woodman is on. But the problem is, there are a number of tries back, aren't they, New Zealand? They have to score 3 or convert. Yeah, little error.
She saw that one.
Okay, improving. Yeah, they'd have to score 3 tries to take this, and in 4 minutes, ooh, McAllister's coming on too. Broughton's a sub. This will be an upset if Canada take out New Zealand. Yes, they've never beaten them before, but it was the form that the Kiwis took into this match.
Yeah, that's the surprise. Not so much, of course, Canada can beat New Zealand, but New Zealand have been playing so well in this tournament. It just shows if you can put pressure on a team.
So we're away again. McAllister just goes straight on the outside, gets it off to Brazier. Brazier running up the field. Woodman's there. Woodman could have passed to Brazier, but tried to attack herself. And look at that, Canada all over the girls in black at the tackle area. One here too.
Woodman just got too flat on Brazier. Then all she wanted to do was pass it to Woodman in space, but Woodman was so flat, just couldn't get the pass away. Just a little bit nervy, New Zealand. We're not expecting to be in this position.
Well, you mentioned the change in tactics with Tui chasing at the kick-off. You know, you've got to look at that after this and learn from it in terms of the New Zealand coaching staff. Why go from something that was working? So, good take by Kish. She tries to run through the middle of everybody again.
Not this time.
Not this time. Kaljuvi's on, and the number 5, there's Russell. Manhandling everybody. Andrea now. Such great ruck ball here from Canada. And man, they are playing it so tight, so close. Pick and go. This time they go wide, and look at this. There was great anticipation there from McAllister. Came in on the pass to Farella. Snatched it, stole it. Excellent, Kayla McAllister.
A little bit of genius from Kayla McAllister. A really important kick here now for Tyler Nathan Wong, but the anticipation from Kayla McAllister, she must have been pushing the offside line, but as long as you're a millimetre behind it, brilliant.
Tyler Nathan Wong better hurry up. Doesn't have a whole lot of time here. And misses. Better to take a quick one. 19 plays 10. There it is. Gosh, you know, the speed that she has to have taken that is just unreal.
I guess it's a gamble, isn't it? You know, I'm going to gamble on getting up in defence here. If I don't get it, hey, nothing's lost because we're not going to have time to score enough points. This, of course, is the venue where New Zealand were 2 scores down to Canada with less than a minute to play. Last season or the season before, and managed to score 2 tries, the last one being after the Hutu had gone.
Not sure that will happen this time, but you just never know. As Landry takes the tackle, Ben to Farella. This ball going forward there. So it will be scrum time.
New Zealand will want to get this scrum going very, very quickly.
What's a bet that the Canadian forwards will take a while?
I can't imagine that happening. They're right there, though, aren't they? Unfortunately for them, nothing they can do.
Right, 30 seconds to go. Brazier gets it to Woodman. She has got a little bit of space there to play with, but Farrella's good. Gets up again, Port Woodman. Brazier. Big pass out to Goss. There are numbers there, New Zealand. Williams. Straighten up, Tui. Doesn't give it, and a mistake. Try blowing for sure. And Canada, it's not quite full time.
It's not quite full time, but there's 2 scores in it with no seconds to play now. What a performance from Canada. This New Zealand team had crushed everything before them, just running in tries for fun, but Canada haven't let them settle, haven't let them have good ball at all, have they?
Absolutely not. Up front, they out-muscled them, Canada, and this time Landry will kick it out for full time. So that is a turn-up for the books. Their first ever victory for Canada. They're running onto the field. It's like they've won the final, but good on them. They're going to face Australia. What a victory, taking out New Zealand 19 points to 10.
Vamos emergir para a decisão de terceiro quarto contra a seleção dos Estados Unidos. Portanto, os finalistas da Taça Ouro